Welcome to Momotales.
In the quiet town of Willowbrook, excitement buzzed through the halls of Maplewood Elementary. The annual talent show was approaching, and every student was preparing to shine. Posters filled the school walls, colorful, sparkly, and full of cheer. Kids signed up for singing, dancing, juggling, and even magic acts. In a quiet corner of the school library sat a boy named Leo. He had warm brown eyes, messy black hair, and a gentle voice no one had ever really heard. Leo loved to sing, but he never sang in front of people. He felt invisible in crowds, like his voice didn't matter in a world full of noise. Momo, the cheerful bear in the Momo shirt, noticed Leo watching others sign up. With his usual pep, Momo trotted over and sat beside him. "Are you signing up?" Momo asked, tilting his fuzzy head. Leo shook his head shyly, whispering, "No one wants to hear me." Momo leaned closer and whispered, "I do. And I bet if they could hear you, the whole school would listen too." The next day, Momo brought Leo to the old music room. It was dusty, quiet, and filled with forgotten instruments, but perfect for practice. Leo sang softly, and his voice floated like feathers in the air. Momo clapped, his eyes wide with joy. "Leo, your voice feels like sunlight." They practiced every day after school, behind closed doors. Momo kept the beat on a little drum while Leo's voice grew stronger with each note. Still, Leo didn't sign up for the show. "I'm not ready to be seen," he said. Momo thought hard, then grinned. "What if they heard you without seeing you?" On the night of the talent show, the gymnasium sparkled with fairy lights and buzzed with excited chatter. Families filled the seats with popcorn and cameras ready. Performers dazzled with their skills. There were tap dancers, violinists, and a magician with a disappearing rabbit. Laughter and claps echoed through the room. Then came an unexpected announcement. Now presenting an invisible act. The lights dimmed, the curtain stayed closed, and a hush fell over the room. From behind the curtain, Leo began to sing. His voice was clear, rich, and full of feeling as if every note carried a piece of his heart. The room grew still, every ear leaning in. The song rose gently, wrapping the audience like a soft blanket of hope. Parents teared up. Teachers leaned forward, amazed. The kids stared at the stage, stunned by a voice they'd never heard before. Momo stood beside Leo behind the curtain, nodding with pride. He gently tapped his drum in rhythm, letting Leo shine. The final note rang out, long and shimmering. For a moment, the room was completely silent. Then came the loudest applause of the night. The audience stood, clapping, cheering, and wondering, who was that invisible star? Backstage, Leo's hands trembled. Momo hugged him tight. "They heard you, Leo. Not your face, not your clothes, just you." News spread across town about the voice no one saw coming. Kids whispered in hallways, "Did you hear the invisible singer?" Teachers started searching for the mystery performer, eager to thank him. But Leo wasn't ready to reveal himself. Momo respected that. He said, "When you're ready to be seen, they'll still love the voice they've already welcomed." Days later, someone slipped a golden envelope into Leo's locker. It read, "You touched our hearts. Please sing again at the Spring Festival." Leo smiled, his heart pounding. "Maybe next time. I'll peek out from behind the curtain," he told Momo. The two friends returned to the music room, now decorated with lights and posters from fans. It had become their magical hideaway. Momo brought him a small microphone charm on a chain. "This is your reminder you don't need to be loud to be powerful." At the Spring Festival, Leo sang again, still unseen, but this time with more confidence. His voice soared like a bird finding its wings. This time, he added harmonies, little stories between verses. People didn't just hear a singer, they felt a storyteller. Local radio stations began playing recordings of the invisible voice. The mystery made it even more special. Momo created an online page called Songs of the Unseen, where other shy kids could post their talents anonymously. Submissions poured in drawings, songs, poems, piano pieces. Suddenly, being invisible felt like a gift, not a flaw. One girl wrote, "Thank you, invisible singer. I thought no one would ever want to hear my poems. Until now." Momo started visiting classrooms to talk about hidden talents. "Some stars shine best in the dark," he told the kids. Leo's name was still a secret, but his courage wasn't. People started to believe in voices they couldn't see. The school invited him to sing one more time, this time, with the curtain drawn back halfway. Leo nodded yes. When he stepped out and sang his first note, the audience gasped, not because of how he looked, but because they already loved him. Teachers smiled through tears. Students clapped and chanted, "Leo, Leo." A boy who once felt invisible now stood in a spotlight he created. That night, Leo and Momo sat under the stars. Momo handed him a scrapbook of letters, drawings, and fan notes. "You're changing the world." Leo opened a letter from a boy who had never spoken in class before. It read, "Because of you, I tried singing to myself, and I liked how it felt." "It's not about being seen," Leo whispered. "It's about being felt." Momo nodded, proud and misty-eyed. The town built a mural in the school's music hall, a swirl of sound waves, stars, and a glowing microphone surrounded by invisible hands. Every year after that, the talent show saved the final spot for an unseen performer. It became the most anticipated act of the night. At each new event, Leo wore his microphone charm and smiled as others found the courage to share their light. During summer camp, Leo helped lead a songwriting circle under the trees. Kids shared secret songs, and fireflies blinked like notes on a page. He no longer needed a curtain to feel safe. He had found his place and helped others find theirs. His album, Unseen But Heard, topped the local charts. The final track was a duet with Momo called Heartbeat Echo. The world began to celebrate quiet strength and invisible bravery. Leo's journey started a movement bigger than anyone imagined. The mayor awarded him a plaque titled, "For Giving Voice to the Silenced." It now hangs in the school hallway near the music room. Momo and Leo were invited to speak at other schools, helping children everywhere believe that their voices mattered even if soft. In one classroom, a child whispered, "I want to sing too." Leo knelt down and said, "Start small, I'll be listening." Every kid left those visits feeling taller, like they mattered more than ever. A story that began in silence was now echoing worldwide. Leo never forgot the attic, the whispers, or the shaky first note. He kept singing, not for fame, but for every kid who hid their dreams. Momo stayed beside him, steady as always, cheering every note, every word, every brave breath. One evening, Leo looked at Momo and said, "Being seen was never the goal. Being believed in, that's what made me sing." They sat in their favorite hammock under a starry sky, the scrapbook between them, glowing gently in the moonlight. Fireflies floated above as Leo hummed a new melody. Momo tapped his drum in rhythm, their hearts beating in sync. Across town, children fell asleep, listening to his songs. The boy who once felt invisible was now part of their dreams. And so, the Invisible Talent Show became a legend, not for the lights or stage, but for the truth it revealed. Sometimes, the quietest voices are the ones that shine the brightest. Moral: even if no one sees your talent at first, it doesn't mean it isn't there. Believe in yourself, your light is real, and it deserves to shine.
More rhymes, more stories, more smiles. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Momotales.